Nuclear, nuked out medals, nuclear warfare 2 or nuke, K.E.M strike on Ghost. These are things that come up a lot in the Call of Duty community, especially with nuclear medal. But these are things that get a lot of debate about whether they're actually needed in the game and how do you actually get them. So I'm going to be explaining a few things why I think they're really good in some games and really not in others. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through that, and then I'm gonna also try and go through how do you get a nuclear, all the steps to getting a nuclear. The gameplay in the background, I actually don't get a nuclear, but I've done a few hijacks lately. I've done like 4 of my videos being hijacked, so I thought I'd mix it up and do a little bit of grind. I hope you guys do enjoy this a lot. So first of all, what I wanted to talk about was why is there actually a nuclear in the game? How did that actually come about, and what games have it and what games don't, if you're not too familiar with that. So yeah, the games that do have a nuclear or a nuke medal, sorry, Warfare 2, Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Ghosts. Excuse me if I'm missing anything out there, but I think they're the only 4 so far, because Call of Duty 4 didn't have it, more than World at War didn't have it, Black Ops 1 did not have any medal system, and then it went on to these newer games where it seems to be like a progressing thing that there is some sort of medal or reward system for getting this high kill streak. Now, the nuclear in Black Ops 2 is kind of special because it's the only one which is kind of like a medal, as I go and kill myself with a C4 right about now. So yeah, the nuclear in Black Ops 2 is special because of the medal system. You don't actually get anything to call in, and this is different to what we saw in the Modern Warfare series and Call of Duty Ghosts. Now in those, you get a killer score streak. I think it was like 24 in Warfare 2 and 25 in Warfare 3. I'm not too sure about Ghosts. I don't really play it. I find it quite boring to watch them play, so I think it's like 25 or something, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that calls in a nuclear bomb, I suppose, to go and blow up the map. And on some maps on Call of Duty, on one map that actually changes the map, which is quite diverse, looks kind of cool, but it is only on one map, so it doesn't really make much of a difference, because you kind of get used to it. But anyway, Warfare 2 did the same thing with the whole nuclear bomb medal, but that ended nuclear bomb, sorry, not the medal, but that actually ended the game just as it was, and your team would win and you would kill everyone in the game. Now in Warfare 3, I believe they kept on with the same thing, but I'm not sure whether it ended the game. It might have, I'm not really sure. I think it did, but I'm not too sure, and I think, I kind of think it did, but then I kind of think it didn't, sorry. But yeah, I'm not sure, you're gonna have to look that up or something, I'm not too sure, but I believe it didn't actually end the game, but it did kill everyone on the enemy team, which obviously gets you a lot of kills and looks really badass. Now with Black Ops 2 they attacked this at a different angle and did it kind of weirdly, because with Warfare 2 and 3 and Call of Duty Ghosts, as I said, with the killer score streak, it is really cool because you can see it and everyone in the game will know you've got it. Now with Black Ops 2, obviously as I said, they're going down a different route. They decided to use it as a medal. Now in this medal version you can get, you got like your bloodthirsty, merciless, ruthless, relentless, brutal, and your 30 kill streak, the nuclear. So obviously this is 5 or 6 more gun kills than the average sort of nuke on the other games, and I believe the other games you may have been able to use kill streaks towards it, when on this game you're not, so it's completely gun kills. Now this is kind of a little bit weird because it makes it a lot more difficult, but a lot of people enjoyed this more because it made you look even better. But obviously with the medal system, no one will know if you've got it. You might be 30-0, but you may have got a kill streak with something else, that like you may have got a gun streak that was made up of mostly kill streaks, like a sentry gun got most of your kills, or a lightning strike got most of your kills, or something along those lines. But when you actually got the nuclear, you did get a really cool player card, and you got, and I believe that went towards a master killer player card, which I actually have right now, which is really cool. It really does make you look completely beast and makes you look really good, and that's kind of a nice thing to have. But equally, not having something that will actually blow up the map or whatnot is kind of annoying, but you kind of get used to it. And it is something to strive towards, and it is a lot of fun to go for it. Now, in my personal opinion, I actually love the way Black Ops 2 did it. I really do like the medal system because I feel it's more rewarding. Because if you've got one nuclear already, I don't know, it just felt better like you would always be able to strive towards 2. But with Warfare 2, if you get the nuke, I find it that it's just like you've got it, you don't need to go for it again. It kind of loses its edge, sort of thing. So it's not as good. I mean, it's still very, very rewarding, but it's not as good as it could have been. Maybe they could have introduced some sort of better way to keep it rolling and keep it fresh, because that's what I kind of like with Call of Duty, is sometimes with these medal systems and stuff, it keeps it really, really fresh, whereas with Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 1 and World at War, it kind of lacks in that sense, because there's nothing really to go for, just a good game, which, you know, it is rewarding in itself, but not almost as rewarding as getting a nuclear or 20 or 25 and feeling that, you know, rush of you're gonna get a really good kill streak. Now, the most asked question in this sort of category of nuclears and nuked, whatever they're called, nuked outs and all these sorts of stuff, the Warfare 2 nukes and all that, I'm just going to call it nuclear medal for the whole thing, but I am talking about Warfare 2 and Warfare 3 and Ghosts, even though Ghosts is a K.E.M strike. But yeah, the most asked thing about all this nuclear medal stuff is when you actually try and go for it, how do you approach it? How do you actually get a nuclear is probably what I'm trying to say in a simple sense, because it is very difficult unless you know how to get it, and so that makes people really try to get it, and do it at all costs and all measures. So that means people run around with like Remingtons, people trying to get hacks, mods and all that, which really isn't the way to do it. So I'm going to spread some light and try and do some tips on how to actually get a nuclear, because, you know, a lot of people try and want one. I know it's kind of an older game, but this applies to all the games, Warfare 2, Warfare 3, and Ghost K.E.M strike. So yeah. So first off, I'll explain how you would go about it if you had a team behind you, and I don't mean like one other player in the game, I mean like 2, 3 or 4. So you're mainly dominating the game with your team, so you'll have like five people on your team that you're talking to and or know. So when you're in this position, you have a very good handicap over the opposition, and you'll be able to do whatever you want with the flags and with the spawns, which is very key in trying to get a nuclear. Now, most nuclears I've seen, people go really defensive, and I don't really think that's the way to get it, because if you go too defensive, then you might just get a 30-0 game. Like, I went really defensive one game, and I ended up getting the nuclear, but I went 51-0 because I had Escort Drone Stealth Chopper, to be fair, but I ended up getting like 32 actual gun streak kills in that game. So it was very defensive nuclear, which, I don't know, it kind of makes it look a little bit worse in the theater and stuff. It just doesn't look as great. So yeah, you want to keep going as aggressive as you can. So for this, my personal opinion is let them have one flag, say C, and you'll have A, and try and keep B neutral, so with no one on it, so not your team, so it won't be green or it won't be red in this Black Ops 2 gameplay. As you can see, it is green, and that means we've got it, if you can't understand that, but that means we got it, and that means we'll be stacking up a lot more points. Now, you'll normally want to do this in a game like Domination, so I'm going to base it on Domination. So what you want to do then is you want to try and make sure you don't get your points too fast, so you have the whole 10 minutes to try and get this kill streak. Also, what you want to do is you want to spend time on your class. Don't just rush a class just before the start of a game. You want to make sure you've got the best loadout you can find, even if that means going on combat training, trying out a few different classes, because once you get that class that you really enjoy, like the one I'm using in this gameplay, it is insanely fun. It is amazing to use it. Also, score streaks are incredibly important in trying to get the nuclear. So if you're going for a nuclear and a high kill game, you're probably going to want to use something like a VSAT, Escort Drone and Stealth Chopper. Now, you hopefully will have your team running UAV, counter UAV and VSAT, and maybe one guy, maybe if he's a lot better than the others, maybe he'll run an EMP or something, just in case they counter UAV or VSAT. Now, with 5 people in the game all running these streaks, it means you'll probably be going after these streaks pretty bad, pretty insanely. You'll probably be getting them on the bounce, like VSAT, so you'll probably have a permanent VSAT, is what I call it, for a long time, so like 2 minutes of the second half, which means you'll know exactly where everyone is, which is a very good thing. But as you're playing in a team, I just want to warn you, don't maybe put your clan tag as the same thing, because a lot of people, when they see a 6-man, 5-man, 4-man team, they will just leave the game straight away, thinking you're going to be beast or whatever happens. So as for solo, the best way to do it, I'm gonna say, is camp. I know I just said earlier in the video, sorry, that you should go aggressive, but that's only kind of when you got a team behind you. But if you camp on solo, it kind of does work. But equally, if you keep getting this VSAT, someone's gonna use it to their advantage, and you'll see VTOL warship inbound, or K9 unit inbound, or swarm, or whatever they'll be getting. So they'll just bounce off your goodwill to run support streaks. So now that can be a pretty bad thing when you're playing on your own. So my advice is to try and get a team and try and get that sorted. If you guys want a team, to try and go for it. I will help any of you guys out, so just message me. I have my Xbox game tag always in the description if you want to message me on Xbox, or if you just want to send a PM or something, that could be done as well. I mean, there is no real formula for doing well on Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty. That you just have to kind of work at it and keep playing, because that's kind of the best way to go about it. If you just keep playing, maybe have a team behind you, know what streaks you have, know where to go, and you know your gun, then you'll do very, very well. Now that's how I got all my skill streaks and all my nuclears. If you guys have any stories about that, please leave it in the comment section or PM me. I've been your boy OPTIFY, and as always, I am out. Peace.